So like you said, I'm Gavin Elster. I'm a front-end developer for the Office of Research Information Services, and I'm here because I want to talk about IE7, mainly because I want all of you to stop supporting it. Why? Because it's 6 years old, and in 6 years, a lot has changed. Microsoft released 2 major updates to IE, which came with hundreds of security updates and support for web standards, and Firefox released versions 2 through 15, and Chrome was introduced. HTML5 and CSS3 were standardized and supported across the web, and the world was introduced to web applications of Web 2.0 with improved layout and rendering, and now the web is the primary form of media for all information. And most importantly, the mobile web was born, creating a paradigm shift in web development with responsive design and an increased focus on bandwidth with smaller files and faster load times. But we developed for IE7, which means we developed for the world of 2006. And that means we either have to forego using best practices and new standards or resort to serving different content, which means bigger file sizes, messy hacks, and hours of development time wasted. And it really is wasted because IE7 is no longer popular. In the last 2 years, IE7 has dwindled down to 3% market share. In fact, the most recent numbers from world analytics companies claim that 2 to 4% of the world now uses IE7. So that begs the question, why spend so much time on such a small user base? Well, by our estimates, over 7% of UW visitors are still using IE7, which is twice the global average. Clearly, we're living in the past. And meanwhile, the rest of the world has moved on, such as Microsoft. They last supported IE7 in Windows XP, and they pushed for automatic upgrades to IE8 for all XP users, but they're ultimately dropping support for Windows XP in 2014. Another example is Kogan, an internet retailer in Australia who gained notoriety because they got fed up with the cost of supporting IE7 and instituted a 7% sales tax for IE7 users. Or Google, which dropped support a year ago. And that includes Google Apps, which are used across the UW by students and faculty. In fact, their policy is to only support the last 2 versions of every major browser, which is something I'd like to adopt. Drupal, which is hugely popular across the internet and very popular at the UW. They're dropping support for IE7 in Drupal 8, and that's coming in 2013, which is only a few months away. And a big one, jQuery, which by the latest estimates is used by over half the web. They're dropping support in version 2.0, and that includes IE6 through 8, and that's coming in 2013, only a few months. So what can we do? Well, you can encourage your coworkers to upgrade. If they're on Windows XP, tell them to use Firefox or Chrome. Otherwise, they can go up to IE9. Why? Because all current browsers auto-update, making it super easy for users to stay up to date. We can also get our IT team to update. That improves security across the board. And Windows 7 is free with a campus license with UWare, so there's really no excuse. We can also add a banner to our site. And you can go to the IE7countdown.com, which includes some sample code. You just put that one line of code, and only IE7 users see a little banner telling them that they should upgrade. So, to reiterate, if you want to use HTML5 and CSS3 with its established web standards, its improved accessibility, its semantic, simpler code that's easier to maintain and develop, then you need to drop IE7. If you want to stay secure on Windows, or use the latest and greatest services from Google, or save money, especially in development, or update your Drupal install, or view over half the web, then you need to drop IE7. And if you want a great mobile site to support the rapidly increasing user base, or if you want a mobile UW in this decade, then you need to drop IE7. So, when it comes to Internet Explorer 7, it is time to say goodbye. Thank you.